Hello everyone, myself Miss Lokhande Vaijayanti, B.Farm, lecturer at Mua Rural Institute of Pharmacy Sonai. Today in this section we will discuss about Central Nervous System Part 3. In the last section we was discuss brain, its part and function. In this lecture, we will discuss introduction of spinal cord, second one reflex arc, next PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. First one, what is spinal cord? Spinal cord is continuous above with the medulla oblongata. It is a long thin bundle of nervous tissue. It is elongated, flattened and almost cylindrical part of CNS. It is approximately 45 cm long in an adult male and is about the thickness of little finger. The spinal cord receives and transmits electrical signal throughout the entire body. The white matter tract in the spinal cord are a highway for nerve impulse propagation. Sensory input travel along this tract towards the brain, that is afferent neuron. Next, what is afferent neuron? Afferent nerves are also called as sensory nerve. These nerves transmit impulses from the periphery of body to the spinal cord and then to the brain, where they are interpreted. They arise at sense of organ and terminate at brain. Next one, motor output travels from brain along this tract toward the skeletal muscle and other effector tissue or efferent neuron. Then what is efferent neuron or motor neuron, or we can call that descending nerve? These nerves convey impulses from the brain and spinal cord to the other parts of body. Motor or efferent nerve, we can call that descending nerve, and sensory or afferent nerve, we can call that ascending nerve. The grey matter of spinal cord receive and integrate incoming and outgoing information. It is a link between brain and rest of body and extend up to the coccix. In this diagram, we can see the total structure of spinal cord. That is, it arises from brain to the last part, that is coccix. See, in this diagram we can see tiers of spinal cord. In the tiers we can see white matter, posterior horn of grey matter, pyramidal tract, central canal, white matter, anterior horn of grey matter, anterior median fissure, white matter and posterior median septum. Spinal cord is divided into two equal parts, anteriorly by shallow median fissure and posteriorly by posterior median septum. The cross section of spinal shows that it is composed of grey matter located centrally, as we can see in diagram. The grey matter arranged in H shape, showing anterior horn of grey matter. In center there is a central canal which contains cerebrospinal fluid. Next, Function. Spinal cord has an important center of reflex action. The brain and spinal cord are your body's central nervous system. The brain is the command center of your body, and the spinal cord is the pathway for messages sent by brain to the body and from the body to the brain as by sensory nerve or motor nerve. Next one, we will discuss reflex arc. Then what is reflex arc? Reflex action is the most important function of spinal cord. Reflex action is an immediate motor response to a sensory stimulus. The structure which is responsible for reflex action is known as reflex arc. Reflex arc is a functional unit of nervous system. Reflex action is an involuntary, unplanned sequence of action and nearly instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. A reflex is made possible by neural pathway called as reflex arc, which can act on an impulse before that impulse reaches the brain. Then function. It means of connection between peripheral organs and brain. Reflex action is the autonomic motor response given by the spinal cord to a sensory stimulus without involving brain in action. Most of the reflex action are protective in nature. Reflex action are the part of defense mechanism of the body, and this action occur very rapidly than the voluntary action. Example: the quick closing of an eyelid if the eye is touched or when something threatens to touch it. Second example: sudden withdrawal of the hand if the finger touch something hot. Next, the quick recovery of the balance of body to prevent falling after the sleep. Next one, in the infant, the act of maturation and diffection is carried out reflexly. As the child grows older, the sensory nerve tract of spinal cord becomes fully developed, and this act becomes conscious voluntary act. This is a diagram of reflex arc. Reflex action is the most important function of spinal cord. A reflex action is an immediate motor response to a sensory stimulus. It is totally independent of will. It is an involuntary movement. Reflex arc is a functional unit of nervous system. In this diagram, we will see connected neuron, spinal cord, posterior root of ganglion, skin with nerve ending, striated muscle, sensory nerve fiber, and mixed nerve. Following are the basic components of reflex arc. First one, receptor. A sense organ such as skin or nerve ending in a muscle, tendon, or other organ. The function is to detect changes in internal or external environment and send impulses in a sensory neuron. Second one, sensory neuron, or we can say that afferent nerve. It is an afferent nerve. It carries sensory impulses from the sense organ and carries them to spinal cord via posterior nerve root. Third one, connector neuron. It is a region in spinal cord where incoming sensory neuron synapse with the motor neuron which carries away the impulses. Thus, they are acting as an association neuron in between sensory and motor neuron. Fourth one, motor neuron or efferent nerve. It carries impulses generated by sensory or motor neuron. And last one, effector. It is the organ of body which respond to motor impulses. This response of effector organ is called as reflex. These reflexes are fast responses to the internal and external environment. They are not associated with the contraction of skeletal muscle. Okay, next one we will discuss peripheral nervous system, that is part of our nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is the division of nervous system containing all the nerve that lies outside the central nervous system. In central nervous system, there are two parts, that is brain and spinal cord, and other that we can consider as peripheral nervous system. The primary role of PNS is to connect the CNS to the organ, limb and skin. Spinal nerve are present in peripheral nervous system. There are 31 pair of spinal nerve arises from spinal cord which are present in our all body. The primary function of spinal nerve and cranial nerve is to collect the all sensory information and transmit to brain through the spinal cord. The spinal nerve are present in below the neck and cranial nerves are present in above the neck. The spinal nerve considered part of peripheral nervous system, generally referred to mixed spinal nerve, which carries motor, sensory and autonomic information between brain and spinal cord and rest of body. Firstly, we will discuss what is nerve. Nerve are made up of single neuron which carries nerve impulses, or they are made up of chain of neuron. In that efferent or motor nerve, sensory or efferent nerve or mixed nerve, all this information we will discuss in earlier slide. In that, what is mixed nerve? In the spinal cord, sensory nerve are arranged in a group of tract and are separated from the tracts of motor outside the spinal cord, where afferent and efferent nerve are enclosed within same tube of connective tissue. They are called as nerve. The spinal nerve act as a telephone line, carrying messages back and forth between your body and spinal cord for the purpose to control sensation and movement. Carrying signal from brain, the spinal cord receives signal from brain that control movement and autonomic function. Carrying information to the brain, the spinal cord nerve also transmit messages to the brain from the body, such as sensation of touch, pressure and pain. According to the origin, these are classified in group and names according to the region of spinal cord. That is 8 pairs of cervical nerve, 12 pair of thoracic nerve, 5 pair of lumbar nerve, 5 pair of sacral nerve, and 1 pair of coccygeal nerve. See in this diagram. In this diagram, we will discuss the spinal nerve. So, first one is cervical nerve. See what that region they are present. Next one, thoracic nerve, present in thoracic area. Next one, lumbar nerve. They are 5 in number, present in lumbar region. Next one, sacral nerve. These are 5 in number, present in sacral region. And last one, coccygeal nerve, present at the coccyx. This all the information about 31 pairs of spinal nerve. Next topic is nerve plexus. The branches of various nerve unite to form a structure called as plexus. That is, cervical plexus is formed first, second, third and fourth spinal nerve. It supplies nerve to the head and thorax region. The thoracic spinal nerve, that is 2 to 12, do not form any plexus. They appear singly and supplied to diaphragm. Thoracic region do not have any plexus because these are the thoracic area of our body. Next one, branchial plexus is formed of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th cervical spinal nerve and first thoracic spinal nerve. The branchial plexus supplies to shoulder girdle and upper limb. Next one, lumbar plexus is formed of first, second, third and fourth lumbar nerve and supply nerve to pelvic organ. Fifth lumbar and first, second, third, fourth and fifth sacral nerve unite to form a sacral plexus which supply nerve to lower limb. Next part of spinal nerve we will discuss in further. Thank you.